Howdy y'all. Decided I'm going to go fishing tomorrow. It's supposed to be raining, so I realized I hadn't fished this year in very much rain, except thunderstorms I got the heck out of, so I just been kind of rigging a bilge pump up in my boat. Kind of a temporary deal till I get this boat done. It's this boat I want to talk about, this John boat, tiny, tinny bass boat. We'll be back in just a minute. We'll talk about this thing. This is Hickbilly Outdoors with D.W. Verts. So folks, I've had a lot of fun this year out of this John boat. They call them tiny bass boats. I've added a front deck to it, trolling motor, and pretty much that's it. It's got some work to be done to it. November deer season time or so, I'll go over this fishing a little bit in this iBass, ultimatebass.com tournament. I'll get over some of that and have some time. It's going to take several days because I cobbled it together, made it the way I wanted. I've decided what I don't like. I'm going to change some things. It's going to be a job. It's my job, and it's working pretty cool, but it's still a John boat, tiny bass boat. Guys, it's cool. Before I go any further, I guess I should make sure y'all understand I've had plenty of bass boats. I've been sponsored. I've had my own boats up to 21 foot long. Been there, done that. And I'll probably do it again. I mean, I had one last year. I have some things I'd like to do in fishing that this John boat is not going to get done. But it's amazing what it does get done. So the whole point of this video is for you guys are newbies, newer, maybe not sure where you're at in bass fishing. You're walking the banks, maybe kayaks, which I love my kayak sitting over there. Don't get me wrong. These John boats are tremendous what you can get done out of one. So what do they got going against them? Well, they're a little smaller. I'm not sure that's anything against them. You're not going to be able to go out in 3 or 4 foot waves and travel 20 or 30 or by gosh 60 or 70, 100 miles. You just ain't going to do it. That's a deterrent. I mean, I have many a time traveled 60 miles one way in a bass boat and won a lot of money doing that, and I've also not won money doing that. It's neither here nor there, but you're not going to do it in this thing. It's not roomy. It's not as stable as even a 15-foot glass bass boat would be more stable, but you wouldn't have the room in a 15-foot glass bass boat. The front deck in this thing is about the same square footage as my 19-foot Charger was, the last bass boat I had. Not as stable, but I have found very few times my short round bud has had to trip or stumble around. I don't have a balance I had at 23 or 33 or probably 43. I had a stroke 11 years ago and it changed some things, but you know what? I don't find myself struggling. I really don't. But it's a deterrent. It doesn't have a storage, and it just doesn't have that. It doesn't have speed. It's a 15-horse motor. Yeah, I'd like to have a 25-horse four-stroke on it, but I've never even run this thing except to start it and put a water pump in it and get it going. I haven't even used it yet. That'll be a winter thing. It runs great. Put a new fuel pump in, it's ready to go. But how important is that motor? I haven't used it. I've been using that Tron motor. Well, but Dale, you fish all these little lakes and everything. Well, yeah, but don't think I ain't going to take this thing on some big reservoirs, especially this winter. I'm going to catch me some bass. I'm going to catch me some crappie. I may catch me some walleye this winter. That'd be some cool shooting for videos, wouldn't it? We have a lot of good opportunities here in Missouri, just like many places in the country. I'm going to do some things. I'm not afraid of this boat, especially in the wintertime when those big boats aren't out. It's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to it. I don't feel, well, you can't afford a bass boat. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I can afford whatever I want to afford. I'm just a little more common sense. I'm not in a place in my life right now, this minute, to do what I want to do in a bass boat, which is fish some bigger tournaments. This thing doesn't have a live well. 15-foot boat, 42-inch bottom or 48-inch bottom, I guess. You could put one in it, a big cooler. My problem is I'd be overkill on live well. I'd put a lot of weight in this thing, but it can be done. A big cooler can be plumbed and aerated. I can fish tournaments out of this thing, and I think I could win tournaments out of this thing. Just not major tournaments on a Saturday out of a public ramp on a huge reservoir. I wouldn't even, of course, I've won tournaments 200 yards from takeoff too, just like everybody else. Anyway, so there's some deterrents. What's about positives? Guys, it don't cost nothing to run this thing. Even with this motor and 6-gallon fuel tank, old 2-stroke motor does not get good gas mileage. It would still be hard for me to spend $10, $15 a day in good, and I'm talking premium fuel. It'd be hard for me to do that. I don't think I run 6 gallons out of it in a day. Golly, what would I do to run 6 gallons? You'd have to get pretty horrible fuel economy. I'm talking premium fuel. I don't put junk fuel in our stuff. Cheap to run. Cheap to pull behind the truck. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what's back here. Guys, my whole life, here in the northern Ozark Plateau, our roads wind, and they got ditches and bluffs and stuff on both. It's horrible. You don't get a trailer off very many times without having damage, cutting tires up and what have you. You're all the time looking in the rearview mirror to see if you've got enough room with that trailer, because the trailer's wide on a bass boat. Not so much with this thing. It pulls like a dream. The truck never downshifts extra because of this boat. Gas mileage, whatever, if there's a difference, ain't enough to worry about. That's a huge point. Fishability. I said it wasn't as stable. Not a big deal most of the time. I'm not out there in a bunch of boat waves and stuff. It'd be a little trickier then. I don't have a butt. I put a butt seat in it. That would help. But I haven't even got a seat in it yet. Fishability, I can take this thing places where those big 20-foot tanks can just dream of. And not very often will that do you a bunch, but once in a while that'll help you. Because I'm not be able to run a long ways on the lake, I can put in ramps and things closer to where I want to fish. There's always a road or ramp, something closer. And come wintertime, when all our lakes are drawn down, I can get this thing in places a bass boat can only dream of. Am I trying to sell myself on this? I don't think so. I've had great bass boats. I've been sponsored by great bass boat companies. I dreamed the day I'd get my first bass boat, and I kind of dreamed the day I'll get another one. But I like this boat. I like this tiny, teeny bass boat. It works real well. When I get done with it, get it finished, it's going to be better yet. I get everything painted, everything in place, and get my sea deck on it, get it quieted down, because it's still such a noisy thing. Man, everything you touch is noisy. I hate noise. Get the lights on it. I've got a brand new depth finder, Garmin, in there in the shop. It's never been out of the box. I guess it's got a depth finder in the box. I paid $400 for it. I've caught a lot of bass this year without a depth finder on lakes I've never been on or haven't been on in years. How's that possible, Dale? How can you do that? Well, hard work, determination, stubbornness, and just being a mule. Ugly as a mule anyway. So, point of the video. And I have shot some other video if I can find it. I may be reiterating, I may be changing, whatever, I don't care. I'm good at this. Being pushy. You do not have to have a fiberglass big bass boat to catch bass, or anything else for that matter. Guys, if you're new to bass fishing, look for a John boat. Look for something like this where you can get out on the water. It's a whole nother realm once you get off the bank. And I love bank fishing. See, I'm well-rounded besides this. Guys, I can do it all, and I love it all. I've waded, whatever. I love that kayak. That kayak and me, we got a relationship. It's going to get used more. It ain't been used 2 years enough. It's going to get used. No ego. Now, I make everybody mad. If you're a 28-year-old up-and-coming tournament bass fisherman, got that big fancy wrap bass boat and brand new truck, and you think I'm picking on you, I am not picking on you. Good for you. I've been there. But the ego, sometimes How many guys you see with them big boats that you never see them again? You don't know who they are. You tournament, you see them, you don't know who are they. What's that boat doing for them? It ain't doing very much, because a boat cannot catch fish. It can't happen. A boat can get you two fish and get you home safe. I'll give you that. Man's got to know his limitations. With these boats, you got to know a little bit. But it's pretty daggum limited to what your limitations are. So there you go. That's all I'm talking about. It's for you guys, you newbies, you beginners. Maybe you guys like me step back into the sport, try and decide where you want to be. You can do this a whole lot cheaper. Way cheaper than you do a glass bass boat even used. I bought this one used. It's a 98. I've done upgrades. I had way less than $3,000 in this thing. Way less. I think when I'm done, I won't have $3,000 in it when I'm finished. I've got almost everything done already. I got to buy a few little things. I got to do some wiring and lights. But anyway, it's part of the fun for me. You can buy them ready to go. That's going to cost you some more, but it won't cost you $10,000. I'll bet you. You find a glass boat for less than $10,000, you're going to have to put $5,000 in it to make it float, make it work, I think. I'm just trying to pass this on, trying to make good footage for YouTube videos. Trying to make things up that make sense to people. So if y'all like this, let me know. Subscribe. Tell me what you like or don't like. I'm not trying to be a show-off or a know-it-all, because I ain't. I don't have no ego. Every time I ever got fluffed at all with my ego, somebody cut my legs out right about there. It ain't good. But I'm going fishing in the morning, in the rain, to defend my honor, my life. Try to win this iBass thing. I'm ahead by a little bit, but ain't nobody else giving up, and there's a whole day left for September. How's that for important? Fishing for a fishing rod. Cool, huh? There you go. By the time you see this, it'll all be done and over. So there you go. Guys, thanks a bunch for watching again. Let me know what you like. It's important to me. God bless. Y'all take care. Now guys, I'm never going to tell you that this boat's as comfortable as even an 18-foot bass boat would be. But it's pretty darn fine. Actually, oh, like that fish, tell me what this fish thinks. Does this bass care? No, he don't care. He's just a pea-brained bass that's smarter than I am sometimes, but he does not know that he just got caught by a guy in a 15-foot low John boat. It was built in 1998, has a 15-horse motor on the back, a little 12-volt trommer on the front. Not even a depth finder. How in the world do you catch a bass without a depth finder? Oh, Lord, have mercy. Now, he's not a big one, but the day ain't over yet either. That's better.